Hello my dears, I'm in Nazareth. I'm entering for lucky 1 minute to the house of Mary because the video is not about the house of Mary and not about the house of Jesus and the Holy Family. I want you to understand how far this house is from the synagogue that we are going to visit now. This is the Church of the Annunciation, the Basilica of the Annunciation. That's the house of Mary, and again the house of the whole family. Jesus was here for around 30 years. Sadly, we don't know a lot about Jesus at that time. I will enter to the house, to the growth of the church for like 1 minute. I already took a video of 1 hour about the history of the church and the meaning of the church. Then if you want to know a lot about it, first of all, subscribe my channel. Secondly, go into look for Nazareth or Basilica of the Annunciation, and I'm sure that you will find it. If not, send me a message and I will send it to you. Look how beautiful is the facade of the church. When I came to here, it was totally empty, but let's enter. Oh, I don't know if you can do that. They are blocking the entrance, but we will do that. I will point on the house, and again, I'm not going to talk a lot about it.
Different levels.
This is the house. Start to talk soon. You saw the house of the Holy Family, and we are on the way to the synagogue. Wait a minute. It's very important because of a few reasons. The first one, Jesus was a Jew. Then he entered to so many synagogues, and we will actually read it from the book of Luke. And one of them is on village synagogue. Let's go outside. People cannot enter naked.
Have to go to pilgrim's office and ask them to get you covered for your shoulders and your legs.
Can you see the dome there? This is a synagogue. It's usually closed, and I'm not sure that I will be able to enter, but we can try. If not, it's a nice visit at the market. That part of the market is totally for tourists, but it's nice to visit it. Let's say not more than 5 minutes. If you've been in the market of Jerusalem, you don't need to see more of it, but it's still beautiful. Then let's talk about the synagogue at the time of Jesus. A synagogue of the time of Jesus was a house of a community house, and people used to read the Bible there, to study, to mingle, to cure people, to talk about politics, like a community house. It wasn't a house of prayer. The only house to pray was in Jerusalem, and 3 times a year every Jew had to be in the Jewish temple And that's where the high priest used to pray for him. That is the reason that Jesus visited the city 3 times a year. It's still a lovely place, I must say. If you go further from the church, you will see more and more non-touristy places. But look at that. Fruit and vegetables. Shoes, totally not for tourists. Then, in that case, Jesus visited so many synagogues, and the book of Luke mentioned it, but in so many places it was mentioned. Beautiful, isn't it? After the destruction of the temple, a synagogue became a house of prayer, because from right now you cannot pray in the synagogue. You cannot pray in the temple. Then synagogue becomes a house of prayer. But you must understand one thing. It's not a house of God. Because the house of God is at the Jewish temple. Today it's the Dome of the Rock. Every church is a house of God. A synagogue, it's not a house of God. A synagogue, it's a house of prayer. Remember, the Jews prayed in the temple, and that is the physical house of God. And this is a huge difference between a church to a synagogue. As you can see, most of the market is closed because there are no tourists. But it's still beautiful to see. They're speaking Arabic. It's an Arabic city. We have around 8,000 inhabitants in Nazareth. 70% of them are Muslims. The rest are Christians. I just love to be here. It's even not on the way to the synagogue, because usually it's closed. But you know what? I would think about Betty. When I'm thinking about Betty, she at the coffee time asked me to bless coffee grains. Oh, lovely. Smell is amazing. She asked me to bless herself in the house of Joseph at Nazareth, which was closed because of COVID. And guess what? It was totally open for her. Just open it for her. That was unbelievable. Then, in that case, I'm thinking about you, Betty, and EJ. Well, until I reach the synagogue and I made a run tour, then you can see the mosque here. I made a run tour. Then it will take me time. Please subscribe to my channel. Be part of my subscribers, part of the family. And if you want to support that channel, which really helped me a lot, at the description look for Buy Me Coffee or PayPal, and you can do it through there. If you won't find it, you can always send me a message and I will send you the link for it. When you will come to here, let's say in October, November, I hope that it will be more crowded. Oh, look at that, more beautiful, more alive. But as you can see now, it's not so. Oh, the smell of the coffee is so good. Oh, tourist. I had the right group. Oh, group, please come. Yeah, we're going behind the group. So now we know what is a synagogue. It looks like it's closed, but let's see. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. It's not. They're entering. Yeah, it's open. It belongs to the Greek Catholic or Malachite. Greek Catholic are Greek Orthodox who accepted the Pope, and the most important thing is that they're actually talking in Arabic. And they're praying in Arabic. They are some believe that the synagogue that we will see is actually a reminder of a synagogue from the time of Jesus. That is his own synagogue. In the 7th century, someone say that he could see the Bible that he read from the book of Josiah, and the bench that he used to sit. Let's see.
Questo era uno dei significati per ritrovarsi in quelle che potevano essere configurate come sinagoghe.
I don't want to disturb the Father. Then let me sit here in front of it and let me read it for you. I'm going back to the book of Luke, I think at chapter 4. Betty, it's help. And it's a beautiful, I mean, look for, between 14 to 30. I won't talk about everything. You know what, let me sit a little bit further, because my voice is quite loud. And you will be able to see the entrance of the synagogue. Oh, yeah, I'm too old for that. It's a beautiful picture, isn't it? Then Jesus, filled with the power of the Spirit, returned to the Galilee. He wasn't there. And reported about him spread it through the surrounded country. He began to teach in their synagogues. Now we know that he actually entered to so many synagogues in the Galilee area. One of them might be the synagogue of Mary Magdalene village, Magdala. And he was praised by everyone. When he came to Nazareth, then he wasn't at Nazareth until now, where he had been brought up, he went to the synagogue on the Shabbat day, as was his custom. Shabbat was the most important day of the week. Then most people are working on the weekdays. Shabbat can be Friday evening, because a day in Judaism begins at evening. Then it might be Friday evening, and then Saturday morning, And usually I think Saturday morning, because if they read the Bible, it's usually Saturday morning. Let me reach there. He stood up to read. And then the scroll of the prophet Josiah was given to him. He unrolled the scroll and found the place where it was written, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he has anointed me to bring good news to the poor." Anointed in Hebrew, Messiah, Limshoch, to be anointed. Let me see where it is. Yeah. He has sent me to proclaim release of the captive and the recovery of sight to the blind. We know that he did it. To let, but blind can be people who didn't believe in him as well, not physically blind. To let opposed go free, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor. And he rolled up the scroll, gave it back to the attendant, and sat down. The eyes of all in the synagogue were fixed on him. Then he began to say to them, "Today the scripture has been fulfilled in your hearing." Whoa! He was talking about himself? Is he the Messiah? He is the one that was anointed? No, that's not the Bible, that's me. All spoke well of him and were amazed at the gracious words that came from his mouth. They said, Is it this Joseph's sons? Well, Joseph was a very important person, but he was his son. He cannot be the Messiah. It's a poor family. Jumping to 24, and then he said, "Truly I tell you, no prophet is accepted in the prophet's hometown." Very well-known sentence. When they heard this, all in the synagogue were filled with rage. They got up, drawn him out of town, and led him to be brought of the hill on which their town was built, so they might hurl him off the cliff. But he passed through the midst of them and went on his way. Then let's go to see the synagogue again. Now when you know the story, I wanted to do that in the synagogue, but he's more important than me, of course. And it's open. And Betty, it's open. Thank you for praying for me. And just like you mentioned, I lit candles for you and for you know who that I cannot mention a name. She asked me not to mention a name. But this time I did it in Nazareth. Then let's enter again. He's reading it, but it's Italian.
Gesù ritornò in Galilea con la potenza dello Spirito e la sua fama si diffuse in tutta la regione, insegnava nelle loro sinagoghe e gli rendevano nome. Venne da Nazareth, dove era cresciuto, e secondo il suo solito di sabato entrò nella sinagoga e si alzò a leggere. Ciò gli fu dato il logo di
Yes, we did it. I was, how should I say it in a nice way? I didn't trust myself. That's not good. Then let's go up. I'm not sure that it's allowed, but let's see the view from there. Church of Annunciation. And now you will know how close it is to his house. The church that you see is only from the 18th century. Not that one, the one that you saw. That's why they threw him through the cliff. Right there. Wow. Remember, the dome is above us. I'm talking about the church from the 18th century, but the house, the synagogues, they say that it's from the time of Jesus, and I have to say no. I'm so happy. Thank you for everyone who watched it, and I hope that you will watch more of my videos. Please be subscribe my channel, and don't forget to push the button of the bell. By that, I promise you that you will see more and more of my videos. Thank you for being with me at that amazing place. Go a little bit backward. Great. Hallelujah. See you in my next video.